Ogilvy, the astronomer, assured me we were in no danger. He was convinced there could be no living thing on that remote, forbidding planet.
A word of advice. If one of your actresses can't act to save her life, don't make her the narrator. Stranded is a 2001 Spanish production following 5 astronauts as they fight to survive on Mars after a crash landing. Roughly half of the cast does a good job, but Maria Liddon and Daniel Acer deliver abysmal performances. But the entire cast suffers under preposterous writing. The dialogue feels verbose and unnatural, and Liddon and Acer appear very stiff as they act out their lines. These guys are too precise and earnest, listing out every detail in a slow, cheerful tone that feels completely inappropriate and rips you right out of the movie. Moving on to the others, Vincent Gallo is engaging as a grim pragmatist calculating their resources, Maria de Medeiros plays the crew's sorrowful doctor, and Joaquim de Almeida, I doubt I've pronounced that right, is charismatic as the solemnly poetic astrobiologist. Still, none of these characters talk or act like real people, and this severely harms your suspension of disbelief. The film finds more tension in the statistics of survival than any human fear of death. On top of unconvincing acting, this severely limits your emotional involvement in the film. The visuals in Stranded are also a letdown. The soil should be finer and redder, the actors move as if under terrestrial gravity, and the sky is obviously just Earth's sky with a brown tint. The film turns into Alien vs. Predator halfway through, with cheap-looking underground passageways and mummified alien bodies. I had a hard time believing that these guys were even on Mars. There are, however, 2 things in this film's favor. 1. Screenwriter J.M. Aguilera didn't fall back on the "we're gonna die, let's f*** cliché, although that would have made the movie more enjoyable. 2. Though the choice of actors was overall a big mistake, I was pleased by the diversity of the cast. The actors are predominantly Spanish and Portuguese, with only one full American in the ground team. A space mission as important as the Mars landing should represent all of humankind. And while the Ares mission is composed mostly of white Europeans, it's still a better sample of humanity than the all-male, all-American Apollo landings. Though I have to ask, why are there no Russians on the mission? And the ending is anticlimactic as hell. After 2 of the crew members perish, the film ends on a hopeful note with the remaining 3 finding an underground labyrinth and a valley full of water and breathable air. The narrator, because of course the worst actress has to survive, informs us that, as castaways, their job is to survive. Well, guess what? This was their job after crashing the ship at the start of the movie. Aside from discovering the remains of intelligent life on Mars, the film never builds up to or accomplishes anything. In effect, nothing changes. There are some sad and suspenseful moments, and, as I mentioned, Gallo, Almeida, and De Medeiros portray likable, interesting characters. But Stranded, directed by Luna, because I'm sure that's his real name, is still a badly acted, inept failure, with clunky dialogue and an unrealistic depiction of Mars. Stranded never once felt believable, and earns 2.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching. Cheers.